I'm Leigh Gilmore. I'm the Global Head of Live Experiences at Bloomberg Media, and I'm delighted to have with me today Ryan Maglio from Invesco QQQ. Ryan, we don't have a lot of time, and we've got a lot to get through, so how about we dive right in?
Sounds great.
Could you kick us off by perhaps giving us a quick reminder of what exactly is Invesco QQQ?
Surely, and thank you so much for having me. So, Invesco QQQ is an ETF that tracks the NASDAQ 100 index. Now, the NASDAQ 100 index is made up of the 100 largest companies that aren't financial that list on the NASDAQ stock exchange. And we at Invesco have been really fortunate because those companies have been highly innovative and disruptive. And over the last 25 years, we have seen meaningful outperformance from the NASDAQ 100 and therefore QQQ over other core indices such as the S&P 500, the Russell 1000, indices that are well known.
Highly innovative, disruptive. We often hear these words linked to performance, linked to growth. I wonder if you can unpack that just a little bit for us. So specifically, are you at Invesco QQQ, are you specifically looking to measure and quantify innovation in the QQQ companies?
We are, and we look at it in two ways. So we look at research and development spending, and we look at patent activity. And what we've seen is that companies in the NASDAQ 100 tend to spend more on research and development. And because of that, we see a lot of patent activity. We see a lot of patent activity in highly disruptive technologies. For example, over 40% of the natural language processing patents are actually owned by companies inside QQQ. A lot of focus around AI, which I know we talked about a lot during this conference. Mm-hmm. And so what we've seen is that the companies inside the NASDAQ have a propensity to innovate. And again, that has shown up in its long-term performance. So since 1999, Invesco has grown to be the 5th largest ETF. It's the 2nd most liquid. And then you look over the past 10 years, QQQ has outperformed the S&P 500 in 8 out of 10 of those. And so we see with the propensity to innovate, we see fundamental growth, we see growth in revenue, we see growth in earnings, we see growth in dividends, all far outpacing its competitors. Like I said, and our investors have benefited from that.
I think what's so interesting about what you're saying is it's not just the tech giants, not just the Mag 7. It sounds like, or would it be fair to say that almost all the companies inside Invesco QQQ are perhaps demonstrate a strong culture of innovation. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hard not to include the tech companies because it's 60% of QQQ. But you look at companies like Costco or, might be a dirty word here in Atlanta, or, Pepsi, right? These companies have innovated and done it for a long time. And again, QQQ has certainly been rewarded for it.
Well, as I expected, we are already out of time, but it's been a great conversation. Thank you so much for your insights. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you for having me.